You're walking near a train yard. The sun is low, the wind is quiet. In the distance, a trolley races down a track. Its brakes have failed. Ahead, 5 people are tied down. You see a lever nearby. If you pull it, the trolley diverts to another track. But there's one person tied to that line. You must choose. Let 5 die or intervene and kill one. This is the trolley problem, a thought experiment as old as modern ethics itself. At first glance, it feels simple, a math problem with lives. But as you sit with it longer, you realize the numbers aren't the real problem. We are. Because in the real world, the levers are everywhere. Digital, invisible, and often automatic. Let's bring it forward. Imagine you're designing software for a self-driving car. Suddenly, a child runs into the road. The car can brake, but not fast enough. It must choose, hit the child, or swerve into a barrier, likely killing its passenger. A decision must be made in milliseconds. But who is making it? The car? The algorithm? Or the engineer who wrote the code years ago? This isn't hypothetical. Companies are building these systems now, and each line of code silently answers one of philosophy's oldest questions: who deserves to be saved? Now imagine a different track. You're a hospital administrator with 1 ventilator and 2 critically ill patients. One is 85, has comorbidities, but is a retired doctor. The other is 28, otherwise healthy, but with no dependents and a history of drug abuse. Who do you prioritize? The one with more years ahead, or the one who's already saved lives? Suddenly, the lever becomes less about numbers and more about values. Past versus future. Merit versus potential. The trolley asks us to quantify what may be unquantifiable. Let's shift again. Picture a social media platform. A piece of content goes viral, 1 post spreading misinformation, 5 others debunking it. But the original is getting millions of views, stoking fear and chaos. If you remove it, you preserve public safety. If you leave it, you preserve free speech. What happens when truth and trust collide? You're not pulling a lever on a track. You're pressing a button on a dashboard. But the weight is the same. Modern trolley problems don't come with train tracks. They come with keyboards, dashboards, AI systems, and corporate policies. The simplicity of the original problem was a disguise. In reality, ethical decisions are entangled with unintended consequences, blurred information, and the ever-present problem of scale. Consider drone warfare. A target appears, confirmed location of a high-ranking terrorist. But intelligence shows civilians nearby. Take the shot and risk collateral damage? Or hold off, knowing the target may escape and harm others later? The lever in this case is a literal trigger. And still, the moral calculation echoes the trolley. Is it acceptable to sacrifice a few to potentially protect many? Even in consumer choices, trolley problems sneak in. You buy a $10 shirt. It's cheap because someone, somewhere, was paid next to nothing to make it. You didn't tie them to the track, but your money helped keep them there. It's the same with climate change. Drive or take the train. Eat meat or go plant-based. These are small decisions. Alone, they seem inconsequential, but together, they push the lever one way or the other. 5 people harmed later instead of now. 1 person harmed invisibly, gradually, systematically. The modern world has automated the tracks, and most of us are pulling levers without realizing it. But let's return to the core dilemma. You're faced with the choice again: 5 lives or 1. Do you pull the lever? Now imagine that 1 person is your spouse, your sibling, your child. Suddenly, the problem isn't abstract, it's personal, and your moral clarity dissolves. Would you still do what's objectively right? Or would love rewrite your equation? That's the trap and the truth of the trolley problem. It tempts us to believe in cold rationality, then reveals our warmth and our bias. Utilitarian logic says save 5 over 1. Deontological ethics says it's wrong to actively kill, no matter the outcome. But neither framework is bulletproof when faced with the messiness of real life. Ethics is not a calculator, it's a conversation. And yet, society keeps building trolleys. Technological, institutional, ideological. We ride on them every day. Our actions, our purchases, our silence, they all become tracks, switches, and yes, levers. So maybe the point of the trolley problem isn't to reach a final answer. Maybe it's to train the mind, to remind us that decisions, big and small, echo, that even when we think we're doing nothing, we're often doing something. And perhaps the most important lesson is this: when you reach for the lever, you don't just choose an outcome, you choose who you are becoming. Because the lever changes the world, but it also changes you. And in the end, that may be the real paradox. Thank you for watching.